Welcome everyone to a mod spotlight on a mod that I've been creating called Untitled Gems. It focuses mainly on adding new gemstones to Minecraft, which you can craft into tools, and some other useful gadgets, which we will get to. First up are some of the blocks that you can find in the world. So, to show off what these flowers can do, I'm going to set it to night. As you can see, they are generating a little bit of light. It's not a huge amount, but they do produce a little bit. So these are all the different ores added by my mod. These first 12 are all basic gemstones, which you can craft tools out of. And the last one is called Chaos Ore, which must be smelted in a furnace to create Chaos Essence, which is used in some of the more advanced crafting recipes. Above the ores, I've got blocks made out of all the gems. These are just 9 gems in a 3x3. And above those, there are bricks, which require a gem shard, which is just 1 gem to make 9. And the only other blocks are those over there, which I will get to in just a moment. But first, I want to mess around with the tools a little bit. In addition to there being 12 different gemstones, there are 2 tiers, both regular and supercharged. To make the supercharged gems, you need Chaos Essence and a little bit of redstone. And then these tools can be used to make the next tier of tools, but they also require a special type of stick, which requires gold and of course more Chaos Essence. These tools are expensive, but I think they're well worth it. Raining on my parade. Okay, now that I've stopped the rain, I've got an example here of both a regular and a supercharged pick. And in addition to making these just out of 1 gemstone, which is kind of boring, and the gemstones also have different properties, which you can see it says press shift, and it will show you the properties of a tool made out of these gemstones. So you can go through these, pick out a material that you like the stats of, but if you don't like the way it looks, you can change that. So for example, I'm pretty fond of the color red, so let's put a ruby on both the left and the right side. And let's say I don't like that little bit of yellow in the middle. How about we make that onyx? And there's also a little bit on the bottom there which we can change. And what should we do that? How about emerald? Nah. How about aquamarine? Nah. Okay, sapphire. I think that looks pretty good. And there's also one more thing you can do. You can grab some wool and put that in any crafting slot and put a little bit of wool on the handle. So here's our new pickaxe. I think that looks pretty good. So the ideal is that you can customize it to look however you want, and yet it will still retain the stats of whatever material you chose. So for example, I chose Heliodor, which has a low durability but a high mining speed, as we can see here. You can also redecorate the regular tools, but there is no bottom part to them. There's no gem on the bottom of the tool rod, but you can still retexture them in any way you want. Let's see if we can create something that looks kind of silly. And how about some purple wool? There we go. Awesome. And you can customize swords, pickaxes, shovels, axes, and hoes this way. You'll just have to experiment to see which parts of the tool they change out. They all work the same way. You just place gems adjacent to the tool and wool in any slot. One more unique thing about my tools is that you cannot enchant them normally. You have to use these enchantment tokens instead. So instead of going out, getting XP, going to an enchanting table, and hoping you get something good. You craft these enchantment tokens, and then craft them with the tools to get exactly the enchantments that you want. And I believe I've got pretty much every vanilla enchantment here, 4 tools at least, plus one of my own, Mending, which, as it says, will repair the tool randomly. Just every second it has a certain amount of chance to repair the tool. The maximum level you can put on a tool is 5. Each level increases the repair rate. So let's go ahead and just put a few on this pickaxe here since it's got a bit of damage on it. And it works in a way that's, I think it's pretty easy to understand. Basically you just craft it, doesn't matter where. And you can see this pickaxe has no enchantment on it. This one does. And it becomes Mending 1 the first time. Now it's Mending 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now you have to have the tool in your hotbar for Mending to work. So it's best for tools that you're going to be carrying around frequently. And we can see it repaired a little bit just a moment ago. And it's very random. Sometimes you'll get a lot of repairs in a quick amount of time, sometimes you won't. Another interesting thing I forgot to mention about the recipe to decorate tools is that they will also repair the tools very slightly. So for example, I could take this and let's see, how about we change the top part to onyx, and I forgot there's a bug that makes it so that if there's a gem in the top left slot it doesn't work, so we've got to move it over. I can't figure that why it does that exactly, so just keep that in mind. You may want to decorate them in a crafting table anyway. But we could see not only did it swap out the part, but it repaired it. And I believe it repairs 1/8 of the tool's durability per gem you craft with it. So if you had 4 gems all around it, you would repair up to half the tool's durability. So one thing I like to do is, for shovels, I don't carry them around very often, so mending wouldn't be as useful. So I just put unbreaking on them, and then repair them by decorating them whenever they get low. And of course, the normal enchanting rules apply. So for example, you couldn't put both sharpness and smite on the same tool. And you cannot put unbreaking on the same tool that has mending. So for example, mending, unbreaking doesn't work, does conflict. I considered that to be just too overpowered, so I made them conflict. But this one is perfectly happy to accept unbreaking. And we can see that the normal level of unbreaking is 3, so now it doesn't want to do anything else. Next up we have crafting materials. These are items that have no function by themselves, but are used for creating other things, and you can see they all say crafting material in their tooltip. So if you see an item that says crafting material, just remember that this item has no effect on its own. It's only used for creating other items. Next up we have a few food items that are added by my mod. And this chest also has a debug item, which is not craftable. And I'm going to take that and one of each of these food items. So the debug item I currently have set to make you hungry and remove potion effects. So the potato on a stick heals a pretty good amount of your hunger and gives you strength. So let's get rid of that. Now the sugar cookie, you eat it pretty quickly. It gives you speed and haste, and you can eat it even if you're not hungry. Finally, the secret donut will give you a random potion effect. It might be good, it might be bad, it might even give you more than one. Looks like this time it just gave us about 30 seconds of jump boost, which is not too bad. And to show that you can eat the sugar cookies even while you're not hungry, there we go. Next up are the Chaos Gems. These are items that while they're active, will give you a passive buff of some kind, or some special ability. You can see there's a type that corresponds to each gem. So I'm going to grab one at random. How about this one? And you can see that if you look them up in NEI or these that I've spawned in, they say craft with chaos runes to get them effects. These are the chaos runes. Each one has an effect associated with it. And most of these are just potion effects. These last two affect the charge levels of the gem, which I will explain in just a moment. So let's go ahead and grab 4 of these, and 4 of these, and these. You can see in the tooltip of the Chaos Gem, it says it is disabled. It has 10,000 out of 10,000 charge, and it is replenishing 40 charge per second. If I enable it right now, it's currently not doing anything. It says it's enabled, but it has no effects applied to it, so it's not draining any charge. And it's just right-click to activate. So let's put flight on it. This creates an effect kind of like if you had a jetpack. So it's got flight 1 on it right now. The maximum level of flight is 4. Different effects have different levels. So now you can see I'm flying kind of like I have a jetpack, but not a very powerful one. It's a little bit sluggish. If I put another flight rune on it, it upgrades it from level 1 to level 2. And now it's a little bit more powerful. I can regain height much easier. So let's go ahead and put flight 4 on it. That's the max level. It's pretty good. I think flight 2 is good enough for normal play. Even flight 1 is useful. So the next thing we can do is increase its total capacity. You can see right now it says its maximum is 10,000. And if we put 1 level of capacity on it, it increases it by 25% to 12,500. And then another 25%. And again up to a maximum of 20,000. And it took a little bit for its durability bar to update. Don't know why. Okay, so the next effect is boost, which affects the recharge rate. You can see right here it says we are recharging at 40 charge per second. Now it's at 50. And again at 60, 70, and finally 80. It's a 25% increase per level for a maximum level of 4. Next up, let's show the... How about regeneration? No, let's do night vision since it's dark, and I probably should have disabled nighttime. So there's only 1 level of night vision, I believe, and it's pretty cheap. It costs just 10 charge per second to maintain. And why are you not updating? Okay, I think there's something funny going on with Minecraft that's causing it to not update all the time. But you can see we've got night vision, and the gem has a slight glowing effect, like an enchanted item. And it's doing it again. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. It should not be doing that. Okay, I don't have a clue what exactly was going on there. I think it was a bit of lag or something, but I bumped it up so that it gives you 2 minutes while active, so hopefully if there is any lag it won't cause any problems. I've never had any trouble with flight failing on me, so shouldn't have to worry about falling out of the sky or anything like that. So let's go ahead and put something else on here. How about no, speed and regeneration. And I think the max level speed is 4. So, okay, we got regen 2 on here, and a bit of speed. Okay, night vision 1, regeneration 2, speed 4. So, this kind of proves that you don't have to have, for example, the capacity and boost or just one effect. You could have 3 potion effects on here if you want. They all contribute to the charge drain, so night vision is contributing 10, I believe regen is 50, and speed is 20. And the level of the effect does not affect the charge drain. So speed 4 gives you a pretty nice speed buff, so we can run at a pretty good rate here and heal up at the same time. Could be good for getting away from your enemies, I don't know. But that does drain his charge pretty quickly. So it's just kind of a give and take thing. Maybe you want to have more charge, or maybe you want to have more effects. It's just whatever you want. And these things will never break. If they run out of charge, they will just deactivate themselves and begin recharging. So you don't have to worry about if you accidentally leave them on. They will eventually run out of charge, disable themselves, and begin recharging. And I suppose the last thing we've got are these other gadgets. So we got a few useful things here, and I don't believe we've talked about the teleporter block yet. So let's go ahead and just take all these things. So these teleporter blocks are pretty interesting. They are a little bit expensive to craft, requiring this enriched chaos essence, which requires 4 chaos essence apiece, a bit of redstone and glowstone, and 2 ender pearls, so which I think is the worst part. But you get 2 of them. And as you may have seen in the tooltip, you need to use a teleporter linker to link these together. So, for example, right-click one, then right-click the other. And now we can right-click on the block to teleport between them. And what's interesting about these teleporters is that they don't actually care about where they are going, aside from the fact that they will not teleport you into something that will hurt you, like if there's a block at head level. Other than that, they don't actually care if there's another teleporter there. So you can see it still moves me over here. If I put the teleporter back, it doesn't remember anything about the teleporter that was there before, because it's been replaced, of course. But this one will still work. So you could do some interesting things with these. You could make elevators where these are embedded in the wall, and you press them kind of like a button to go up or down. And you can even link them together in series. So, for example, I could do something like this. Now, this one will take me to the second one. The second one will take me to the third one. So, something else we could do now is we've got this return home charm, which is a very handy item. So, I am going to right-click on a teleporter with it. Now, it says it's linked. And if you hold control over it, it will show you where it goes in the tooltip. So if I just right-click this like that, it doesn't do anything. You have to hold it for about a second, and I think it's 25 ticks I have it set to at the moment, which will probably be the same in the final release. I'm still polishing a few things. But as you can see, it just takes you to the teleporter wherever you are. It will even work across dimensions, so if you get lost in the nether, bring one of these things with you. And if you do get lost all the time, like I do, you have a quick way of getting back home. Let's actually show that off right now. So I'm going to make another portal really quickly here. And not in creative mode, so it's a little bit tricky. There we go. Ah! Of course I would light myself on fire. And the teleporter blocks will also work across dimensions, but you may need to have the other teleporter chunk loaded Also, if you're linking them across long distances, you may have some trouble if you don't chunk load them. So let's use this return home charm. And we're back in the overworld. Doesn't matter where you get lost, as long as you have about a second to use that item, you're good to go. So the last thing no, actually there's 2 more things. I haven't done the torch bandolier yet. Something I've forgotten to mention is that the pickaxes for my mod have the ability to place a block that's in a slot after them. It should work with just about any block. That will also work with torches, and the torch bandolier it makes a special exception for as well. What the torch bandolier does is it can be used to place torches, and you can see it as a bar, and this one which I spawned in is carrying about 1,000 torches. And any torches that enter your inventory will get automatically soaked up. If you don't want it to soak up torches automatically, which apparently I'm getting a little bit of lag again and it's not doing it. Come on. I don't know why it does this, just every once in a while it will everything stops working. Hold on a second. Alright, the moment I stopped recording it picked them up, so I don't know if that's a coincidence or what, but if you shift and right click, it will say autofill mode off and it will no longer pick up the torches. If you want the torches to be picked up again, just shift right click once more and it filled itself back up. And if you have it in the slot right after the pickaxe, you can place torches. So not only when you're mining do you not have to switch your inventory slot to place torches, you can also just craft several stacks of torches and not have to stop to swap out the stacks or craft them while you're in a cave. Just make a bunch of torches and you're good to go. You don't have to stop for torches anymore. And the final item is kind of a silly one, but this is Summon Kitty. It is made from any gemstone of mine, a raw fish, and a ball of yarn, which is string surrounding a gem shard of any kind. And this will summon in a tamed cat that is your pet. And for me, it also pulls from a random list of names. I always have trouble saying that. And you would be Popo. It's always Popo. Let's get another one. Rocket, Crimson, and yeah, for me it has a random list of names. And now I've got a ton of cats following me. So, very easy way to get a cat. I hate taming cats in vanilla Minecraft. It is the worst thing ever. So, hopefully someone will enjoy the ability to not have to chase ocelots through a jungle. I know I do. Alright, so I believe that is everything my mod has to offer. Thank you for watching. I hope there are plenty of people who enjoy playing with this mod. I've been playing with it since 1.5.2 and I love it. I get to make the stuff that I play with. It's amazing. And hopefully someone else feels similarly about the stuff I've created. So if you like customizable tools, this might be the mod for you. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time.